Lads, welcome back to Fusion YGO. Today we're doing a deck profile on Scareclaw. We had to update it because we released it the same day the ban list dropped. Obviously that doesn't work anymore. I've updated it. Starting off with the Scareclaw part of the deck, we're running 3 copies of Acro. Acro is the one that boosts the attack points for all the defense position monsters on the field by 300 for the extra monster zone Scareclaw monster. We also play 3 of Astra. Astra is the one that lets you attack a number of times equal to the number of Scareclaw monsters in defense mode. Then we only run 2 of the Balone. Balone is the one that allows you to do piercing damage. It's the least impactful of the 3, and we had to cut for space for a couple other cards that we'll get to in a little bit. So Balone was one of the cards that we ended up cutting to 2. But we wanted to run as big a Scareclaw package as possible because 1 card is a full combo, which is really cool. We're running 2 copies of Rika Heart, your version of Rhino Heart, or I guess Rhino Heart is our version of Rika Heart, whatever. It searches a Scareclaw spell or trap, which is really nice. It can let you draw a card if there's 3 monsters in defense mode when it's summoned, which is nice. The only issue is it's a level 4 and it doesn't do anything for the big boss monster, which is why we only run 2 of it. But it is a warrior, it is level 4, it is a dark, so all those things really play off. And then we're running 1 copy of the Visa Starfrost. The fact that it's a tuner no longer matters in the deck. Hashtag buy Halky Fibrex. But Visa Starfrost being available to the deck is really big. And its secondary effects do come up in very niche scenarios, so be on the lookout for that. Continuing the Scareclaw part of the deck, the spells we're running are 3 copies of the field spell. It searches a Scareclaw monster or Visa Starfrost from the deck. Your opponent's monsters lose 100 attack and defense for each defense position monster on the field. And if there are 3 or more defense position monsters on the field, you can target 1 card your opponent controls and blow it up. It's pretty good. Search, a bomb, and a decrease. This deck does a lot for the battle phase and clearing boards and such, so it's really nice. 1 copy of Scareclaw Arrival. Arrival is used as an extender in certain scenarios. You'll need the extender. It does come up, but you want to have 3 different names that you could search off of Rika Heart. Arrival is one of them. The other is going to be Straddle, which is a really, really useful card in the damage step, being able to boost things. It's a quick play spell, so you can use it reactionarily. But the card you'll normally go after, especially if you're going first, is Scareclaw Splash. Splash allows you to target a Scareclaw monster or a Visa Starfrost you control. It can attack while it's in defense mode. It doesn't matter so much for the extra deck ones, but it does come up really big for the Rika Heart, for example. And you can apply its attack or defense when attacking for damage calculation. And when your opponent activates card or effect while you control a Scareclaw monster in the extra monster zone, you can send this face-up card to the graveyard and just negate the effect. It's pretty nice. The primary effect of the card doesn't come up a whole lot, but the secondary effect being a negate is really nice. And that does it for the Scareclaw package. But we're playing the Tri-Brigades, so we're playing 3 copies of Fractal, we're running 2 copies of Kyrus, we're running 2 copies of Kit, and we got 2 copies of Nerval. So you'll automatically start with basically a Link 3 off of just 1 Fractal, which is really powerful. Because you'll go Fractal, dump Kit, dump Nerval, add Kyrus, and then go off. Then we're also running 2 copies of Tenki because we want to get to Fractal, and Fractal is really strong in the deck, so it makes sense. Now we're playing a new card from Darkwing Blast. This card's actually pretty neat. Tri-Brigade Showdown. If a Beast, Warrior, or Wing Beast is special summoned to your field, except during the damage step, you can target 1 of your banished Tri-Brigade monsters and add it to your hand. After damage calculation, if your Tri-Brigade monsters battled an opponent's monster, you can return the opponent's monster to the hand. So if they've got something that you just have a lot of trouble outing, for example, I don't know, let's say they summon Dragoon, because Dragoon is an easy one. This card doesn't target, you battle it with something that's smaller than it, you lose your card. If it's, for example, if you hit your own Shiraig, you're gonna trigger the Shiraig to add a card, but then you can also just bounce the Dragoon back to the extra deck and just keep moving forward with your game state, which is really, really nice. It doesn't come up a whole lot, but when it does come up, it's crazy. The fact that you're able to just add 1 of your banished Tri-Brigade cards back from your banished pile to your hand, allowing you to extend further, is the part of this card that really matters. Discard fodder is always nice. 1 copy of Revolt. We don't have a way to search it, but when you do see it, it's really powerful. We do not play the Rampant, which we'll explain in the extra deck, but still the ability to grind game by drawing into this card in the grind game, or even just opening it and sitting on it for a while. It's really good. And that is the entirety of the Tri-Brigade package. Finally, the secondary engine cards and going second stuff. We're running 3 copies of the Rescue Cat. We're running 3 copies of Super Poly, and 3 copies of Dark Ruler No More, and 1 copy of Called By. All of these are very self-explanatory. Going into detail on why I'm playing them is silly. The only one that might be confusing is Super Poly, and I'll explain in a second. Welcome to the extra deck. We're about to have some fun. We're running 3 copies of Lightheart. This card would be really busted if it allowed you to use just any Scareclaw or Beast monster. But because it requires a Scareclaw, it's a little less impactful. But it is not a once per turn on its on summon effect to add a field spell. So within the combo, you can use this card off of the being able to resummon itself off of Visa Starfrost. You can link this off to make a second one, so you can search 2 copies of your field spell to deck thin your deck more, so you're never drawing into dead cards in your deck. It's also a Beast Warrior, and by doing so, you're naturally putting in extra Beasts, Beast Warriors, and Winged Beasts for your Tri-Brigade stuff, so the natural synergy is just right there for you. We're also playing 2 copies of Tri-Heart. Being able to turn everything to defense position is really strong. Being able to be unaffected by the effects of defense position monsters your opponent controls is really strong. So its other effect is you're able to target a level 3 Scareclaw monster in your graveyard and special summon it to your field, and then add a Scareclaw monster with a different name from your deck to your hand. But you can't special summon monsters except Scareclaw monsters for the remainder of the turn. So what you can do with this is go, okay, I'm gonna summon, I don't know, I'll bring back Astro. It doesn't really matter. Astro, add Rika-Heart, and then you add Rika-Heart. You summon the Rika-Heart, add the spell, and then if you have any other defense position monster, you also get to draw a card. So just by doing the plays your deck naturally does, you get to gain a lot of advantage and put yourself in a position where your opponent's just looking at your board going, what do? And it's a really fun thing to be able to do with this deck. Next is the Tri-Brigade Link monsters. We're only running 2 Farragut and 2 Sharake. Farragut is because it's very generic, it's very easy to get into. It lets you draw 1, add 1. The other advantage to it is it does let you special summon an additional monster, which is really, really nice. Sharake is here because Sharake is a big old jerk bag, and anybody that claims otherwise is a liar. Next, we are playing, these are the Super Poly targets. We're playing 1 copy of Garura. This card is really good for a couple of reasons. One, it's a Winged Beast. The most overlooked part of this card is its type. The other reason is you can use this then to link into, like, you break their board making the Garura, you're able to normal summon anything and just kind of start doing your plays. And because you've done that, you get to replace the card you discarded. So it doesn't cost anything. The other one is Mud Dragon of the Swamp. This is just to help break boards that you might not be able to. If you're playing against something that these 2 cards cannot allow you to make, which is weird, but it does happen, side out Super Polys. It's free 3 cards, you get to side out. We're playing 1 Relinquished Anima and 1 Salamangreat Almirage. Anima is only to get Nerval into the graveyard to start your plays. It also helps break boards. Almirage is there to let you use your Acro or Astra or Bilone to start going forward. Mind you, it doesn't come up a whole lot. You could replace this card with like a Nightmare Unicorn or something else if you so desired. This is just what I had. This is what I was thinking would work, and that's what we went with. We also have D-Hark and Zeraboros. You banish a lot of cards. Zeraboros is really good. Dark steals things out of the graveyard. Side deck. We're running 2 copies of Alpha. It's a big old beast that is also a compulse. That summon is not once per turn. We're also running a small kaiju package because you hate people. We're running 2 copies of Gamma Seal, 1 copy of Godarla, and 1 copy of Radian. And we're playing 3 copies of Interrupted Kaiju Slumber. That's all this is for, is to help break boards. If you have Lightning Storms, you can replace Lightning Storm and then put something else in place of the Kaijus. You can do a whole lot of things. These are the 7 we went with that I've decided that I think is the best for this particular deck. But you could side it out. You can put in other back row hate, such as Harpy's Feather Duster, Twin Twisters, what have you. I really like the Kaiju lineup. Then we're also playing 3 copies of a very old card that's really, really fun to pull off. 3 copies of Gorgon's Eye. Till the end phase, all effects of monsters on the field that are in defense position are negated. Who needs a Tri-Heart that makes everything defense mode when you can also say, I have a floating Imperm too? And last but not least is my back row hate evenly matched. Like I said, you could replace the entire Kaiju package for back row hate and other stuff Lightning Storms, Harpy's Feather Dust, or Twin Twisters, you could do that, and that would replace all 7. I went with Evenly Matched because this deck actually gains advantage off of cards being banished, so Evenly Matched made sense. And that is going to do it for Scareclaw Tri-Brigade, our version at least. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed, please hit that subscribe button. We are on our road to 1,000 subscribers, and we've got giveaways going once we hit every 1,000 subscribers through the end of the year. It's coming up on Christmas, so make me spend some money on you guys too. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And until next time, lads, good fun. Have luck.